Steve, are you happy to see us? We're happy to see you. T-Rex came home too. Want to go out the door? Come on, Steve. You come on. Everybody wants to see you. Yeah. We got the band back together. We'll get Mitt in here too. T-Rex, you know the routine. You bark and run. Right, good boy. See, he hasn't lost a step. 41 degrees, 7/18, April 23. It's cold outside. The Cardinals are singing anyway. Beautiful. Any ice in that bucket, Steve? What, Tim? It's April. We all turned on our outdoor showers. There will be no ice, right? Well, I think I might have told some of my plumbing friends that. I think I said I was putting out my hoses, but I backed off because it's record cold this morning. From the Gulf of Mexico right up to New England, including 30 degrees in Hyannis and up into southeastern Canada. Temperatures as cold as they've been ever in our life on April 23rd. A lot of weather jargon today. Let's start with high barometer cold. The image from the top of the Blue Hill Observatory, was that you, Matt? Where you can see the tops of the buildings sticking out above the cloud. What is fog? It's a cloud touching the ground, and that's what we have this morning, a cloud touching the ground. I'm not sure whether the temperature fell to the dew point right at sunrise or the dew point came up to the temperature. But on a night of high barometer cold with a clear sky, you get radiational cooling. The temperature goes down. Sometimes the dew point comes up. And that's what happened last night. So that's why we have this. Oh, Tim, let the birds do what they do. You don't have to stare at them. They're just starting a new family. That's all. But we got to keep track of Steve. There's the garden. I'll show you the lettuce and peas in a few minutes. Come on, Steve. You come. Isn't that great? He likes to graze on that. Come on, Steve. Let's go over here. So I don't have to think about it. Got to put him on his thing. Oh, one of the worms got away. Oh, no, that's not a worm. Everything's fine. Steve, catch. Oh. Those birds are still doing it, by the way. The birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees. It is that time of year. Rejuvenation. Rejuvenation? Look at those hydrangeas go. Look at that. Either catnip or I'm not sure. So I don't have a frost here. I have lots of dew. Dew. And many reports of frost this morning. Beautiful imagery coming out. As usual, Darius, Cape Cod National Seashore with his red sky in the morning. I'm not sure the sailor has to take warning. Speaking of sailors, came back, and first thing, of course, I went right over to Bert's boatyard, say hello to Doug, and give him a little hand. Bravo, applause, working hard, restoring a 24 Cape Dory. Anyhow, he says, Tim, what do you mean cold air advection? He says, put it in simple terms. I said, cold air advection? Well, that means cold air is moving in. He said, cold wind? I said, yeah, cold wind. But you can have cold wind and warm air advection, which is happening right now, as a matter of fact. On the summit of Mount Washington this morning, it's 21 degrees, I believe. And the wind is, gusting past 30 miles an hour. So that wind chill is about 6. That is a cold wind. But technically, it's warm air advection because the temperature is going up. So he said, well, why don't you just call it advancing? All right. So we have warmer air advancing back into New England. Warm air advection today. Also, moist air advection. How pretty is this scene? As the sun comes up, it's going to melt this cloud. The temperature is going to jump into the 50s while the dew point stays in the 30s. Did I show the temperature map already? It's in the 20s in many spots. Pilot Pete in Lancaster says 25 degrees this morning. Lots of us still have the heat on. I did turn the heat back on in my house, by the way. All right, so we covered high barometer cold. That's when you have the more dense air near the ground. Compared to low barometer cold, that's when you have colder air up in the sky. So we're going to change it to low barometer. Not so much cold, but low barometer warm air advection. So the reason for this record cold this morning is this 1024 high that stretches from the Gulf of Mexico up into Quebec, Labrador, Newfoundland. And that's old cold high that's moving out. So on the weather map today, we have a new front pressing into the Great Lakes, an ocean storm. Now that ocean storm causes air to be from the northeast, well east of Cape Cod. So those black lines, technically still cold air advection way out over the ocean, but that storm is racing away. So now we're going to focus on that low coming in from the northwest. And there's a real cold air mass pressing down behind that one, probably rivaling this cold air mass, and with rain showers coming in tomorrow. All right, now let's stop that Euro here and go to the NAM, the higher resolution short range, and we can really time it out just for New England. So tomorrow morning, 6Z is 2 a.m., 9Z is 5 a.m., and then 15Z is 11 a.m. Stop it right there. Blue is snow, green is rain. So rain showers and some elevation snow showers are racing across tomorrow. That'll be the 5th time in 6 days it has snowed in New England. All right, keep that going. It's very progressive, Josh Worth at J. I don't think we're getting inches of snow, maybe a couple inches of snow at the tops of the mountains. While we're on Josh at J, he lapped the tram 10 times yesterday morning at J Peak. He says there was 2 inches of new snow. You knew I would find a way to fit skiing in here today, didn't you? And he had a blast. He said it was like a midwinter, just gorgeous, but not too cold. And also it was employee ski day while we're on the subject. And Sterling Alexander Sigurdsson shared this. He said they did do a little bit of grooming at Stowe yesterday. So the lift was running. I know they don't want me to say that. It was for the employees. And I came home. Left. I was there 24 hours ago with snow on the ground. And in the end, more. I'll show you what happens as you drive south and you run into springtime and you run into traffic in Boston. And it changes your whole attitude. You're all relaxed from so many days of skiing. And then you're moving 5 miles an hour by the TD Bank North Garden, where I was pumped for the Bruins game, and it was a good game. Wrong team won, but anyhow, just game 2 of the playoffs. Back to our regularly scheduled weather now. Let's go back to the Euro and take it through tomorrow. We have a snowstorm just north of New England, exiting with a lot of isobars. And what is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure, more jargon. And that is cold air advancing, advecting. Doug, on Thursday morning, you're going to need the heat going again. It's going to be windy and cold here, but it's more low barometer cold, so it'll be colder in the sky than down near the ground. And then as the day goes on, high pressure, temperature will rebound nicely up into the 50s because the sun is out and it's a land breeze. And then we will radiate again Thursday night, and Friday morning is going to be a lot like this morning, where it's even a higher barometer, so the temperatures might even be colder on Friday morning than they are today, with a frost and a freeze again. Sorry, John Driscoll and Ken Stockdale. Well, I said, sure, turn on your outdoor showers. Sorry, not funny, not funny. I don't think it'll be cold enough to crack our pipes. Anyhow, keep it going after that. Now that high is going to resist the warmth. It's going to repel the warmth for a while, and we're going to get some rain showers to come in here Saturday, and that's a warm front. And then we are in good warm air advection on Saturday night and Sunday. You see the 564 on the red line there? That's a thickness. There's a rule of thumb. You can add 20 to that 64, which is 84, with a west wind and full sunshine somewhat in New England on Sunday or Monday may hit 84 degrees. That storm that's going to cause severe weather in the middle of the nation is going to go north of us Sunday night and Monday, and we're going to be looking at that high well off to the south. That is real warm air advection before Tuesday, April 30th. Another front comes in here with probably just rain showers, thunderstorms, and then colder air advection on May 1st. Some of the guidance has some snow in the mountains again for May Day. May Day. Speaking of May Day, I'm at 10 minutes of out here speaking, and how many times has the weather changed? We had the sun a few minutes ago, now we get the fog, and we're going to end up with a breeze from the southwest. It's going to become windy with this front tomorrow, and tomorrow night, Thursday. New warm air, new cold air, new warmer air over the weekend, okay? Got all that? All right, kids, thanks for playing. Let's leave us with some travel south yesterday. A little bit of snow left at Whaleback. I love the construction with the bridges going up. I love watching how they advance. And getting into springtime in Quincy after the nerve-wracking getting through Boston. Oh yeah, I haven't checked the rain gauge in a while. While I was away for the last 2 weeks, we had one, looks like about 2 inches of rain or so. I did a bunch of burning last night, and all those, the flowers I put in the vases. There's the peony, by the way. Okay, Tim, go for 11 minutes. Peony's looking pretty good, isn't it? I'm gonna put the cages on them today. And I took the forsythia out. It's way gone by. And look what happens to the pussy willow. If you want pussy willow, you put it in your vase and it roots. And that's the pussy willow tree I got it from. And you can grow your own pussy willows. If you have a wet spot in your yard, the pussy willow will grow. Okay. Thanks, Dave, for appreciating my enthusiastic, infectious weather presentations. Sorry, I'm not going to have too much more skiing anymore, but maybe we'll see you at the Sugarloaf. I do have a ticket for the Sugarloaf icon. And the more and more and more. Talk to you tomorrow. Spidey. It's cold and windy in South Carolina, too.
Get on top of that little mound.
Monday morning, Harbor Town, South Carolina. It's kind of chilly. Scheffler. Has your wife had a baby yet? Are you a new dad? That's it. 10/10, April 22, Earth Day, beauty. And the ski lift is running for employees today. Oh, and that was Mummy barking. Okay, we're out.
Employee ski day. A little windy out here, but pretty gorgeous.
Gorgeous day, 50 degrees, lunchtime in Manchester, New Hampshire. So great to be back in the city. Yay.
No, we're not permitted to count anymore. We can jump up, but we can't.
Look who's eager to go out. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Sorry, bro, been away. Hi, Mitt. Long time no see. Steve hasn't been out the door in so long. Yeah. 55 degrees at 2:40 on April 22, even though we're in a cold air mass. It can be nice and warm if the sun is out. And I was going to say if the wind is offshore, but it's kind of an onshore breeze. Just gorgeous. Heating of the day. There was not a cloud in the sky all the way home. Tremendous. And all of a sudden I got to mow the lawn. Yeah, Steve. I know. He's liking that, isn't he? Haven't seen this belly rub in a long time. Oops. And I'll save the garden for the out the door in the morning, which is what you've already seen, right? Gorgeous. A bird way up there, a couple birds. I think they're gulls. Yeah. And I left the door open just a tiny bit. And look who got outside. Fortunately, this one's pretty slow. It doesn't want to go too far away from the trough. All right, Mitt. You're cool. We're cool. The Maine Coon waddle. Kind of waddles like a skunk and a raccoon combined. What do you think? Beautiful day, huh? Yeah. Hey, fur balls. Pose. Good boy. Boys. Of course, and more. I think you probably know where. It's that time of season. Shrink wrap is going to be flying off, not due to the wind, but due to it's that time of year. You want it to look like new, that's who you get to do it. I hear somebody else playing Chuck Nolan Live at 5 over there working on their boat. So when I talk about changing seasons, this is what I'm talking about. From the mountaintop to the seashore today. Well, it's actually the harbor shore. And there's the Wessagusset dock system right there at low tide. And look at all these little mussel shells here. It's cool, huh? And baby marsh grass. So you got your very low tide as the sun goes down. That means we're either at a new moon, which we had on April 8th, which was so memorable, or a full moon, which is called the pink moon this month, and it is 24 hours away. Right over there, the moon's gonna come up, and what a beautiful night it is for a full moon. Although today is Monday, the full moon is on Tuesday. That's what happens when you watch the and more. The and more is from the day before. I hear the crows. It's mating season. Sunset back in Weymouth. You'll hear a lot more from crows now. We're changing from ski season to bird season and boat season and sunset season and gardens and more and more and more. Danny, you're in Italy. There is the light reflecting off of your place. Look at that. When are you coming home? I know, July 4th. We'll save a spot for you. Beautiful sunset here. Earth Day, Monday, April 22, 2024. Started the day with new snow and ending it with just beautiful sunset.